Thank you, Speaker. Tonight I want to give an account of our community campaign to have the North Coast CSG mining free. Our community is deeply concerned about this issue and its harmful impact on our water, farms, prime ag land, fishing and tourist industries and our way of life. Thank you. No one wants to wake up one morning and see, to start with, over 1,000 coal seam gas mining wells littering our lands. The member for Richmond and I have a petition calling on the New South Wales Coalition Government to make the North Coast CSG mining free. Yet the local, state, national MPs and the federal national members support it and support its expansion. Senator Joyce, Senator Nash, Senator Birmingham, and now joining them is the Coalition Resources spokesperson, and as does their leader. And the Liberal National Party coalition has shown without a doubt that they are just paying lip service on coal seam gas issues until the election. Coalition in the Senate is trying to weaken the government's water trigger legislation with an amendment that would hand environmental assessment powers to the states. The coalition let it slip through here, but they're now seeking to put an amendment that would weaken these protections by allowing the Commonwealth to refer scientific assessments back to the states. The Senator Birmingham, the Shadow Parliamentary Secretary for the Environment, has told the Senate that the Coalition doesn't like the legislation, but because of community concerns they wouldn't oppose it. But they are clearly working hard to wind back water protections. It's there in Hansard in black and white, with the senators saying they won't oppose it because that would let the government to politicise the issue. But Senator Birmingham said we will work to fix these issues should we succeed later this year. It's duplicity. And Senator Birmingham is clear about the parts of the legislation he doesn't like. The Coalition doesn't believe the water protection should apply to the exploration phase or drill test site, and they don't want the bill to apply any areas being assessed, so no scrutiny whatsoever. And to take the cake, today on local radio, Senator Nash said that she downplayed local concerns about the coal seam gas industry in our region, and I was stunned to hear her say that. And whenever Senator Nash makes comments from her base in southern New South Wales, she shows how little she knows about the Northern Rivers. She doesn't understand the enormity of the coal seam gas mining threat to our region. She doesn't get why plans for 1,000 wells across the Northern Rivers would be environmental vandalism of the highest order. She doesn't get the threat to water, farms, the beautiful environment, to fishing, tourism industries, real estate values and our way of life. While communities across the Northern Rivers are screaming out that the industry is not welcome here, Senator Nash and her Nationals colleagues aren't listening, and their coalition leader, the member for Warringah, is pushing New South Wales to get cracking with expanding the coal seam gas mining industry. The Nationals candidate, Kevin Hogan, has grabbed onto CSG as a campaign issue and said he wouldn't want it near his farm, but what has he done about it? Nothing. He clearly hasn't made an impact on his state or federal colleagues who are clamouring to expand it and support it and wind back the protections that we've introduced. When the state government announced CSG exclusion zones for Hunter Valley wineries and horse studs, but left our area unprotected, what did we get from Mr Hogan? A fawning letter to the editor praising our local, state, National Party MPs. This isn't the sort of issue that you can just pop up and say a few words about and sit back down again. This is one where you need to get in and fight for your community. I've been working hard for years on this issue, researching the science and state and federal laws on water protection, lobbying for legislative change in Canberra, talking to lots of farmers, working with lots of farmers and community members, actively campaigning on the issue. Federal government has moved to protect our community's water from the harmful impacts of coal seam gas mining by amending the National Environment Law, the EPMBC Act. Mr Hogan is asking people to vote for the federal coalition, the same coalition that has vowed to wind back these environmental protections, streamline coal seam gas mining approval process and unlock huge gas reserves in New South Wales. Mr Hogan needs to decide whether he's with the knitting nanas who sit outside the state members' offices protesting against CSG, or on the inside as one of the Nationals. And my colleague, the member for Richmond, said that in this election, there will be like a referendum on this issue, and I agree with her. Thank you, Speaker.
The question is the House to now adjourn. I call the